I don't know what it's called or if you guys have heard of it, but there's like these tablets somewhere. It's like, I want to say it's like called the 10 Commandments of something or sort, but I don't think it's actually 10 anything. Yeah, I forget what it is. But it's like these things someone found, and one of the things on there says that, like, try to keep the population at this level. Or
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. What?
So this is I got so excited.
I forget it, like, but I remember when someone brought it up to me.
So let's talk about the Georgia Guidestones.
There it is.
Georgia Guidestones?
Because they're in the state of Georgia, in Alberton, Georgia. So basically in the 1980s, this one's weird. This guy, let me see if it says his name right here. It does not list his name because it's very short condensed. But basically this guy went to this architecture firm and basically said, I would like this built in this location. I've paid for the land. I've paid for the supplies. It'll cost you X amount of money. Here's the check. I need to have these dimensions, this shape. I need to say this exactly as this. And he's like, okay. And basically they went, they sent it off, and no one ever heard from that guy again. They look up his names. There's no reference to him. Like, we can't find anything to contact him. But I'll insert a picture so you guys can see.
What are you looking up for?
Be here. This is what it looks like. But basically, that one note you said is right there. It says there are 10 guidelines on the monument written in 8 languages. So let me pull it up real quick.
So this guy built a monolith thinking the world was about to end, basically.
Essentially, it basically it's written rules for post-apocalyptic blah blah blah. You know, how do you say post-apocalyptic world?
Apocalyptic.
Yeah, and
Georgia Guide.
So one of them is maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So incredibly shrink from where we're at now.
Yeah. It's a hard task.
Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Balance personal rights with social duties. Be not a cancer on earth. Leave room for nature. It doesn't list the rest of them on this one. But that's essentially it. And I want to say it almost... I want to say it acts as like a sundial too. Let me see.
Yeah, I just saw something that's like, it's astronomically aligned. Right there.
The guidestones also serve as an astronomical calendar, and every day at noon, the sun shines through a narrow hole in the structure and illuminates the day's date on an engraving. The names of 4 ancient languages are inscribed on the sides near the top: Babylonian, Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Yeah, it's 20 feet tall.
And also speaks of a time capsule buried underneath the surface, though the dates on which the capsule was buried and when it's to be reopened are missing. Whether this is intentional or the capsule was never buried is unknown. So it's very odd. The whole thing's odd.
Yeah. And again, what that particular population goal, that one is what throws me the most. Like, everything else there sounds like kind of cool. It's like, hey, just don't be a dick, dude. Just like let nature be nature, you be you, like maybe find some balance in your life. But that one, keep the population or try to maintain it at this particular number, which is drastically different from what was the population at the time that it was made.
In 1980, let's check.
Siri, show me. Is that an almanac? Is that where you would get that from? I've never used an almanac. I can remember learning how to use one in like 3rd grade or something, maybe. Atlases, maps, almanacs, and I've never had to in my life.
So in 1980, when these were made, the Earth population was 4.43 billion.
And he said to keep it at what?
500 million?
500 million. So
he was...
that's way cut down.
So I'm guessing he's assuming that after the apocalypse, how many people are left?
Hopefully 500 million or less.
Yeah, if he is right. No, that's such a strange goal for like out of all the things there.
Yeah, that's what's funny. I read the 10 things again, and it's like all of them kind of make some degree of sense, minus that one.
I mean, sure, if the more people, the less resources, the harder things get. Like, sure,
Et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
it's like, what made him land right there on that number? So he's like, when it was here, oh man, those were
Oh,
the
it's just
glory days.
top notch.
But now, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna Google what. Can you Google what year was the population of Earth? 500 million.
If ever.
If ever.
Just one day it went from like right in between.
It was like 497 million.
it never got perfectly at 500.
Yeah. Oh,
What's up, Maggie? She is definitely feeling it.
just licking the floor, trying to get something.
You lick the floor. Nothing on the floor.
Oh, it's also called American Stonehenge.
That's
How a lot of people refer to it.
definitely how I heard it. That sounds so much like, boom, you brought back being around a campfire in which someone explained this to me.
Yeah.
That's what happened when you said
It's on 5 acres. So someone bought that property and just
I'm on 5 acres.
stuck that in the middle.
I'll put a Stonehenge there. Make my own out of like tractor tires and some fruit machines.
Nothing fruit. 00.
That Infinity, dude. I'm telling you, it's got a ring to it. Two.
That's what breaks my heart the most too. Is it's just a dentist chair.
The fruit machine.
It's just strapped to a dentist chair made of much porn.
Time machine. Time fruit.
So that population, the last time the world had that population was in the year 1500.
So this dude had no clue.
That was around the time of the Black Plague, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Black Death. That's spooky.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because some could say that's why that happened. To drop the population back down to 500 million.
How many people you think thought the world was ending? Like they were like, "This is it."
Oh, the
guys?"
Black Plague?
Yeah.
It was bad, man. You read historical accounts and it's like you wake up fine and you die that same day. Like it was just bad.
I mean, no, that sounds like a scary hell to live through. But the fact that we've had so many end of the world scares,
Right?
like that one definitely had to be really scary. But like after you live through that, you're like, well,
Whatever.
whatever. I don't care. Remember 2012? And just thinking like you're like all day pretty sure it's not going to end today, but there's like a little bit of you that's
What
like,
was it? December 7th,
I know.
2012?
It was December 21st, 2012, I believe.
on the winter solstice.
Let me double
What
check.
happened?
I remember that day because I woke up and it was super cloudy and like the weather was just weird. And I was like, it was super sunny yesterday. Like we had fair weather. And now today it's all overcast and grim.
That same thing happened on June 6th, 2006. I remember because I was like, this is the year it's happening, guys. There's never going to be this.
It's
hectic.
4 6s.
What?
Wasn't that whole conspiracy because it was 666?
Yeah, you just said 4.
It's June 6th. Oh, duh. Sorry.
But either way,
You're
you know,
fine.
the devil. All the good stuff. And yeah, I remember showing up to school. No, it wouldn't
It
have
was
been
in the
school.
summer.
It was June. Showed up somewhere, but it was
Summer school.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories?
But I remember it being cloudy that day for like a day in June where it's just brutal heat. And I was like, well, this is definitely something else, isn't it?
Well, this is it.
And that was like,
I like that clouds are our end of the world sign, apparently.
yeah, well, because we live where there's constant,
We're the sunniest place on earth.
yeah,
That is true.
just sun. So like clouds are definitely something to us. I think I
Sounds
played a show on
spooky.
December 21st. I was
Sounds-
hungover,
Sounds about right.
played a show. And I figured if today's the day the world ends, might as well be hungover playing a show.
Might as well go down swinging.
It did not end. I was just hungover playing a show and proceeded to not be afterwards.
Why are we so obsessed with that?
The end of the world?
The
Playing
end of
shows?
The end of the...
I do miss playing some shows.
You know, I half miss it. We'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
play
know.
to an interesting crowd for sure. I will give you that. But
Well, I enjoy the live shows I'm playing now. I guess you call them live shows.
I consider them performances, live shows. Like you practice for them, you set them up.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a
I
performance.
help run them.
You're the guy.
I'm the
You're the
guy.
man in the chair.
I'm the one everyone blames now.
You're the guy putting overcast clouds on June 6th. Tripping me out, man.
But yeah, I don't know if it's just we have a sense of, well, if I know it's coming, that makes it easier, or if I know it's coming, I feel like I'm in control of it. None of us want to die, let alone everything and everyone around us to die. So why are we so obsessed with it?
We like scary things. We like what ifs in particular. We like to think of things that could happen, but truly deep down we're like,
Oh, I hope it doesn't.
probably won't happen then. Probably won't. Like,
Smoke out?
how many times have you heard of like some crazy like off the wall religious guy said that the world's gonna end today because God told him? Like that's happened at least 3 times I can remember.
Wouldn't
in my
that be
lifetime.
the biggest like slap in the face
Like
If-
that guy was right.
if that guy was right?
Dude, that's one of the things I bring up all the time is like, how do we know that this guy isn't being talked to by a god? We don't know. He's just crazy because he thinks the world's going to end tomorrow. And well, I got tickets to see Pirates of the Caribbean tomorrow, so the world is not ending.
I hope you don't have tickets to see Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I don't. But at the time,
Oh,
I
back then,
did
yeah.
see that movie that day it was supposed to end, and then it didn't. And I could have went without seeing that movie. That's all I'm going to say. It was the last one, number 4.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's pointless. So whatever year that came out, the world was supposed to end. I don't know. There's been a few since then. They
What-
obviously aren't happening. They'll
what
happen
was-
sometime.
What was the one tied to one of those movies where supposedly people were like, yeah, man, the Bible, it says like if you glorify it or something like no. So people were saying,
Pirates?
I know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a end of the world theory that had to do with pirates of the Caribbean in
In the
particular,
Bible.
and it being an allegory or something. Anyway, for which movie?
I remember it was like 2012 or one of those where it's like supposedly you're not supposed to make something to glorify it or some crap.
I think that was one of them. The biggest one I can remember being brought to our attention was when high school, when Caleb was obsessed with the fact that Cloverfield coming out was going to kickstart the end of the world. He was like obsessed with that. And
Why
he-
Cloverfield?
I don't know. I have no idea actually. I cannot remember. It obviously had to do something with some kind of conspiracy theory for him he went on. I remember even you making a bet with him that the world would not end
Oh.
that day.
That's funny.
And he still has not followed through on that. But that's okay. That's okay.
I'm remembering that bet now. That
Yeah, he doesn't need to. That's
He
all.
doesn't have to. We'll leave it at that.
But all I know is the world didn't end, and sometimes people believe in some crazy things like J.J. Abrams being the person who makes the world end.
I don't even want to. I don't think I can handle it. Don't.
But I mean, there's all sorts of things. I mean, that's you hear about them, and again, they sound crazy until they happen, right? That one obviously didn't happen. Cloverfield has come and gone. I still watch it time to time. It's a fun movie.
Did you ever watch the other two?
I saw the one with that amazing Elizabeth Winstead in it. Cloverfield Lane something.
That one was really good. I remember, I'll just get on a tangent of it. When she was making it, she couldn't say it was a Cloverfield movie. She just said, "I'm in this movie where I'm with John Goodman. He's basically kidnapped me in a basement, and it'll be really crazy when you guys finally see it."
That's cool. I like that secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
I know even when they released it, I think like the title, I don't think anyone was like confirming that they were connected. Even.
And then I think they only gave it like a week notice. Like they wanted to keep it such a surprise that it's like we're not going to say anything until a week before it's supposed to come out.
Damn.
So like with zero promotion almost at all, it's like because they just didn't want to spoil it. It was like we don't want people to know that this whole movie we've been making is this. So here it is. Even with the third Cloverfield movie, like there have been rumors about it. And I remember watching the Super Bowl that year, and a commercial came on, Cloverfield 3 out now on Netflix. I'm like, what? And as soon as that was over, that's what I watched.
I haven't seen that one actually.
It's pretty good. I like it. I really hope they make more of them. They're fun movies. I like them.
Again, something that interest of just, well, the world is ending now. I want to watch that movie. Maybe not 2012. That movie was bad, but I don't know. It's like you with the Godzilla, the monsters, the wonder, the what is this? Like, it's craziness, and it's fun to entertain.
It's a big lizard fighting other big lizards. I mean,
I'm gonna watch Cloverfield this weekend. No, I'm not. No, I might. All of them.
For as long as I can remember, like, because my parents believe in the end of the world, because they're both Christians. That's part of the whole thing. My mother has always said, "I'm not gonna die."
That you're not gonna die, or is she saying like
she's not gonna die?
Okay.
She's like, I'm not gonna die. I'm going to be raptured. Like, I'm gonna be here for the end. And she has not shook from that to this day.
Just feels it like deep in her soul.
Yeah, I'm just like, and it's one of those things where someone's so committed to something, you're like, God, are they right? You know what I mean?
She just wanted it that much, like she made it right.
And it's one of those things where I was gonna say it's funny again. But it's not funny. It's one of those things where I kind of just look at it every now and then. I'm like, how long do you have left? Like,
does that mean I'm gonna be here for it?
When is the end coming?
See you later, Angel.
It's scary. I don't know what I would do if all that stuff went down, man. I used to have this theory, and it was probably just a way to like comfort myself. I was like, I think that maybe all that stuff happened and we're living in what's left and it's not so bad. I mean, we just found a way to make it work.
It happened already. There was only like one guy.
Yeah, he went up and we're like, oh.
No one noticed.
That guy was way too good.
Where's Doug? Where's Bob?
He's gone, man. I don't know.
Bob Ross.
All those people just disappear. Raptured. We were not worthy.
I have a quick side anecdote to backtrack about the whole end of the world in 2012. I remember, I think there was one random date they gave slightly before, like the December date, because I was a senior in high school. And they said it's like going to happen March something in 2012, like really early. And there's this girl in class, and she was serious when she said this. She really meant it. Like, this wasn't a joke. She's like, do you guys think the world's really going to end? I don't want to. I have a party I'm supposed to go to on Saturday. And she meant that.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That was her concern. I was like, I plan to go get drunk and do coke this weekend. I have plans for this.
If you think the world's going to end,
just move the party forward.
Yeah, why wait till Saturday?
Quit your job, party on a Wednesday. Why not? Who's going to stop you?
Exactly.
If you really want to go to that party and you really think the world's going to end, why even go to work until the world... Like,
yeah, why bother with it all?
What would be the purpose of that?
That's pretty funny. That's actually funny because that woman's dumb.
That's fantastic.
It was beautiful.
That's the end of the world ones are always strange to me because everyone feels like there's always an agenda for them, but it's like, who even benefits from that one? Everyone's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Who benefits from the end of the world? Unless you really just like think that you could like do a world-ending thing where you dwindle the population down to 500 million. You cap them there. Vasectomies all around.
I think the whole idea of it is if you can dwindle it down to that size of a population, then Big Brother actually steps in and steps into control.
It's just it's too big for them right now, so they're just biding their time.
Because then, especially if you figure if it was some kind of like nuclear holocaust or this or that, and like maybe only a couple of the continents are like inhabitable or this or that, then yeah, you have a whole network and it gets put into place.
I just go live in Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
that what that is? King Kong.
King Kong.
He lives in a hollow earth?
It's a whole thing. I don't want to give any spoilers.
Gotcha.
You guys can watch it on HBO Max or in theaters out now.
I highly recommend it. Good movie.
I will get to it one day.
It's not Shakespearean. It's not gonna have well written dialogue. Blah 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 blah. It's a giant monkey and a giant lizard fighting. If you can't enjoy that, don't go see the film.
That's what I
Don't ruin
think.
it for other people.
It's one of those style of movies that's like you watch this because you know you want to see it. You don't go
Yeah.
in thinking, would I like to watch this? Like you look at a poster of what I assume is a monkey and a lizard fighting, and you're just like, I'll give it a shot. The plot could be, really deep.
The plot's all right, but I mean, it's just filler. for
It
those-
doesn't have to
two
be
things to
amazing.
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wanted to see action shots and explosions and, well, what I would hope is beautifully crafted CGI. Like,
It's
I imagine they're spending top dollar on it. So
really good. There's one scene where they're in like Hong Kong at night and everything's all lit up, and yeah, it's
hats off to the
Beautiful.
animators.
and he looks furry.
Oh yeah, like the detail.
Like you can
You can grab
little
him.
wisps. Go back.
Tangible. What happened to 3D? It's not a conspiracy. I just want to know.
So I can explain that too. Welcome back to my little tech channel.
I was like, Jesus Christ, why do we even hear age?
I
So
want to learn.
3D was at the time when it came out. 3D's always been a thing, but the much more sophisticated. I don't know why I closed this. So I
It
can
looked
have more
official,
of it,
though.
right?
Oh, I thought
So-
it was a good
We don't even need this internet right now.
I can explain this myself. So basically, 3D was really the 3D that was reused of came out really more in populous in like 2007 ish and stuff, and it was all the rage. People wanted it. The problem is it was expensive to reproduce at your home, and it came with a couple caveats. Like when you watch 3D content, well beforehand, it wouldn't be as bright as if you're watching 2D content. 2, you had to wear glasses, and there were 2 versions. You had active shutter, you had passive. Active shutter, the picture looked better, but it was more expensive. You had passive, they were just the regular cheap, you throw in the trash can 3D glasses. Easy to use, picture looked worse. Also, the content was expensive to make because you have to use either expensive 3D cameras or convert it in post in 3D, which it just cost money regardless. You got the same result pretty much. It's expensive to do it either way. And people weren't sure if they still wanted to do this anymore. And what eventually the whole TV market shifted to was 4K instead of let's look at the picture quality, and then they added HDR, the color content we add to it. And less studios weren't investing anymore. Also, consumers were like, it gives me a headache, I don't like it, hurts my head. And eventually it just kind of fell apart. It's still there if you want to buy it, but you can't buy a TV today with it. You can either buy a projector. They sell plenty of 3D projectors still. Just not TVs anymore. So that's happened in 3D.
I could like never really see in 3D.
Really?
Yeah, like they didn't really work for me. Later, I found out that someone said something like it's because of my stigmatism, like my left eye is so much worse than my right, that the blending of colors, blah 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 blah. Something
Kind of sciencey mumbo jumbo.
some of that garbage doctor talk, and I was like, just show the next slide on the porn, man. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gay or not.
Just weren't in the proper fruit machine,
I was in
man.
there, right? It was cantaloupe. Cantaloupe again.
He hates it.
A cantaloupe. And did you ever hear about the honeydew and the watermelon that wanted to get married?
Mm-mm.
She said, sorry, I cantaloupe.
I knew right away because you said the word and like reminded yourself of like, oh yeah, like, this is a punchline.
Look, Xavier has all the tech shit buried deep that we have to like dust the dirt off of. I just have jokes, man. I'm sorry.
Well,
I can't tell the story.
I have nothing.
I'm down.
Let's get that guy on the podcast.
I'll find him / maybe her. Get them.
Whatever their pronouns are.
Z.
Z and Zer.
Zoltan.
No, XE.
But
Z.
why would they
How do you
put?
pronounce it?
Why would they put X and E if it's just Z?
Like Xerox.
Right? What makes a Z sound with X?
I'm just saying for the sake of
Look, man, I
simplicity.
don't make these
Why would you
things.
just put a Z?
It's just someone else. I don't care.
Are Z's
I'm not
too
gonna change
aggressive?
it. Zed. Maybe they didn't want to confuse it with Zed.